Alright, let's just get into it. Go to n8n.io. When you land on the home page, you'll see a button that says Get Started for Free or Try an 8n Cloud. Click that. You'll be taken to a sign-up page. You can sign up with your email or use Google or GitHub to make it faster. I'd recommend using Google if you have a Gmail account. It's one click. Once you're in, you'll see a welcome screen. Don't worry about the templates or tutorials yet. Just click Create New Workflow or New Workflow, depending on what version you're seeing. You'll land on a blank canvas with some nodes on the left sidebar. Alright, now let's talk about what this tool actually is. So, N8N is a workflow automation tool. Think of it like a digital assembly line where you connect different apps and services together to do tasks automatically. If you've heard of Zapier or Make, it's similar, but with some key differences we'll get into later. Here's why this matters if you're broke, burnt out, or just trying to figure things out. When you're in that place, you don't have time or money to waste. You're probably doing everything manually, copying data between spreadsheets, sending the same emails over and over, checking 5 different places for updates. That stuff drains you. It makes you feel like you're busy, but not actually moving forward. N8N lets you automate the repetitive stuff so you can focus on the things that actually matter. And here's the best part. It's free to start. You get a cloud account with decent limits, or you can self-host it if you're technical. But you don't need to be a developer to use it. You just need to understand the basic idea. If this happens, then do that. The reason I'm making this video is because I've been in that burnt out place. I spent hours doing tasks that could have been automated, and I didn't even know tools like this existed. Once I learned how to use N8N, I got back hours every week. Not to make millions, not to scale some empire, just to have time to think, to rest, to actually build something instead of drowning in busy work. So if you're stuck, this tool won't solve all your problems, but it'll give you some breathing room. Alright, let's build your first workflow. We're going to keep this super simple. Here's what we're doing. Every time you get an email with a specific subject line, N8N will send you a message on Telegram or Discord. This way, you don't have to keep checking your inbox for important emails. First, on your blank canvas, you'll see a plus button or an add node button. Click it, search for email trigger or IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol. That's how N8N will watch your inbox. Select the IMAP node. It'll ask you to connect your email. You'll need your email address, password, and IMAP server details. For Gmail, the server is imap.gmail.com. Port is usually 993. If you are using Gmail, you might need to create an app password in your Google account settings instead of your regular password. Just search Gmail app password and follow Google's steps. Once that's connected, you'll set the node to check for emails with a specific subject line. Let's say you're job hunting and you want to know immediately when you get an email with interview in the subject. Type that into the subject filter. Now click the plus button again to add another node. Search for Telegram or Discord, whichever you use. If you don't use either, you can use send email to forward it to another address, or even HTTP request to send it to your phone via a service like Pushover. But let's stick with Telegram for this example. Connect your Telegram account by following the steps. You'll need to create a bot using BotFather on Telegram. It takes 2 minutes. Once connected, set the message to say something like, "You got an email about an interview." check your inbox. Now click Execute Workflow at the top. Send yourself a test email with interview in the subject. If it works, you'll get a Telegram message. If it doesn't, check your IMAP settings or your Telegram bot token. That's it. You just automated something. It's small, but it's real quick. Here's where N8N beats the others. Zapier is probably the most popular automation tool. It's super easy to use, but it gets expensive fast. Once you're past the free tier, you're paying monthly, and if you're broke, that adds up. N8N is free for basic use, and even the paid plans are cheaper. Make, formerly integrations, is similar to N8N. It's visual, it's powerful. The big difference is that N8N is open source. That means if you want to, you can host it yourself for free on your own server. Make doesn't give you that option. You're locked into their platform. Now, ChatGPT and custom GPTs, those are great for conversational AI, but they're not automation tools. You can't use a GPT to watch your inbox and send alerts. You'd have to manually ask it to do things every time. N8N can run on autopilot. Langflow and Flowise are newer tools built for AI workflows, connecting language models together. They're powerful, but they're built for AI-specific tasks. N8N is broader. You can connect Gmail to Google Sheets, to Slack, to Airtable, to an AI model if you want. It's not just for AI, it's for everything. The one key difference that makes N8N unique. It's open source, visual, and you can literally see and control every step of your automation. You're not locked into a black box. You own your workflows. Alright, let's talk about what you can actually use this for. No hype, just real examples. 1. Job hunting. If you're applying to jobs, you're probably tracking applications in a spreadsheet, checking your email constantly, and trying to remember which company you applied to and when. You can set up an N8N workflow that watches your email for responses, logs them automatically into a Google Sheet, and sends you a summary every evening. You're not checking your inbox every 10 minutes anymore. You're in control. 2. Content creation. Let's say you're trying to build an audience on Twitter or LinkedIn, but you're also burnt out. You can use N8N to schedule posts, pull content ideas from an Airtable or Notion database, or even generate post ideas using an AI model and save them for later. You're not staring at a blank screen every day. You're building a system. 3. Managing side hustle admin. If you're doing freelance work or trying to build something on the side, you're probably drowning in admin tasks, invoices, client emails, file organization. N8N can watch for new client emails, create a folder in Google Drive, add the client info to a spreadsheet, and send you a checklist of next steps. You just saved yourself 20 minutes of setup work every time you get a new client. 4. Learning and research. Maybe you're trying to learn a new skill or research a topic. You can set up a workflow that scrapes a website for new articles, sends them to Notion or a Read Later app, and tags them by topic. You're not manually hunting for resources. You're building a personal knowledge system that runs itself. None of these will make you rich overnight, but they'll give you time back. They'll reduce decision fatigue, and when you're burnt out, that's everything. Alright, let's do one more workflow. This one's a bit more advanced, but still beginner-friendly. We're going to build a simple AI-powered workflow. Here's the idea. Every day at 9 a.m. N8N, we'll pull a random motivational quote from an API, send it to ChatGPT to rewrite it in a specific style, and then post it to your Slack or Discord. Start by adding a schedule trigger node. Set it to run every day at 9 a.m. That's your starting point. Next, add an HTTP request node. We'll use a free quote API. Go to api.quotable.io/random. Copy that URL and paste it into the HTTP request node. Set the method to GET. Test it. You should see a random quote come back in JSON format. Now add a set node. This is where you'll clean up the data, pull out the quote text and the author name. You're just organizing it so the next step is easier. Next, add an OpenAI node if you have access to the OpenAI API, or you can use HTTP request. Again, to hit the Chat GPT API manually. If you're using the OpenAI node, connect your API key. In the prompt, say something like, rewrite this quote in a calm, practical tone. Quote text. Use the data from the previous node. Finally, add a Slack or Discord node. Connect your account. Set the message to post the rewritten quote with the author name. Test the whole thing. Click Execute Workflow. If it works, you'll see a message pop up in Slack or Discord with your AI rewritten quote. Now activate the workflow so it runs automatically every day. You just built a daily motivation system that runs itself. Took you maybe 10 minutes to set up, and now it's there every morning. All right, here's the system. Start small. Pick one thing you do manually every day or every week. Build a workflow for it. Test it, fix it, use it. Then build another one. N8N won't fix your life. It won't make you rich, but it will give you clarity. It'll save you time. And when you're broke and burnt out, time is the one thing you can't buy back. Go build your first workflow today, even if it's small, even if it's just for you. Start there. And if you found this helpful, let me know. I'll make more of these. Take care.